questions. Had some questions to Caitlin Clark about a couple of different things. Of course, they were going to ask about the CBA, and they were going to ask about the state of the Indiana Fever, right? And number one, did anybody suspect she was going to come out and say, I don't want Kelsey Mitchell back? I never in a million years ever considered that she would ever come out and say that, and she didn't. She wants to keep Kelsey Mitchell on the team. She wants to run it back. This time with her being able to be involved, healthy, and try to win a championship.
Caitlin Clark has sent a shockwave through the Indiana front office that no one saw coming. Standing on national television during a high-profile interview, she did not simply suggest a roster move. She delivered a public ultimatum that shifted the entire power balance of the franchise. The words were sharp, direct, and left absolutely no room for negotiation. She made it clear that her future success and the team's championship hopes depend on one specific player remaining by her side. This was not a suggestion. It was a demand that placed the entire organization on notice. The silence from the front office was heavy as they realized their superstar had just taken control. This was a power move that few expected so early in her career.
Twice for two good players, all right? And I think that's a lot of people's thought process with the Indiana Fever. You're getting a 2-for-1 if you decide to let Kelsey walk. A lot of people have also said, oh, this is just going to work because, well, Caitlin's not on a max yet. Okay, you're still talking about, $2.93 million of the salary cap gone, just like that with 3 players. You got to get 7 more players on this team.
The demand focused on Kelsey Mitchell, the sharpshooting veteran who has been the core of the Indiana Fever backcourt. Clark did not hesitate for a single second when Maria Taylor asked about the team's future and roster direction. She called re-signing Mitchell the absolute #1 priority for the upcoming season. Think about the weight behind that statement for a moment. A rookie, even one as special as Clark, usually waits for the front office to make major decisions. Instead, Caitlin appeared on NBC and effectively told head coach Stephanie White exactly how the roster needs to be shaped. It places White in a very difficult position even before training camp begins.
That's what you love about it, and we got a great squad, a great coach, great support staff, so super excited.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to
Check this out. The other thing about these comments, Indiana Fever, good luck if you let Kelsey Mitchell go. Caitlin Clark has publicly sent a directive straight to the Indiana Fever front office and leadership. What happens if you can't re-sign her? If she ultimately doesn't want to stay? Or if
Kelsey Mitchell was a first-team All-WNBA selection last year for a reason, and Caitlin knows it. She is the perfect running mate to pair with Clark's elite passing and deep range impact on the floor. During the interview, Clark called her a running mate and admitted that Mitchell makes the game much easier for her. This is not just about friendship or locker room chemistry. It is about a basketball connection that was built over an entire season and turned into something special. If Mitchell leaves in free agency, that chemistry disappears instantly, and the Fever are forced back to square one. Clark understands this, and she is not willing to let it happen without a public push to keep her partner.
If you can't re-sign her, if she ultimately doesn't want to stay, or if leadership believes they need to let her go, this is going to get so interesting, because if Kelsey Mitchell goes, you run the risk of the best player on the planet being very disgruntled. So I'm just pointing that out. Now, Caitlin Clark also talked about the CBA.
between the WNBA and the WNBA about trying to get the CBA ratified.
Yeah.
Here we are.
We did it, baby.
It finally went down. I mean, when you...
This is where concern begins for Stephanie White and the Indiana leadership. As a new head coach, you normally want to build the team in your own vision and evaluate players based on your system. You want to study the numbers, the salary cap, and the long-term flexibility of the franchise. But now, the star player has already told the entire world who needs to be on the roster. If White and the front office choose a different path for financial or tactical reasons, they are not just losing a player, They are risking the trust of the face of the league. It is a high-stakes poker game where Caitlyn has already pushed all her chips into the center of the table.
Expansion. She does mention the Connecticut Sun going from Connecticut to Houston. She brings that up. She talks about that. I'm just pointing that out. I'm in Texas, by the way, so I'm just pointing that out. But nonetheless, another great showing from Caitlin Clark last night. I mean, she is fantastic as a pregame analyst. I mean, whenever she gets ready to retire, they're going to back the Brinks truck.
Let's talk about the cold, hard numbers that are likely making the front office accountant uneasy. Right now, people are looking at the new salary cap and realizing the Fever are in a very tight position with roster construction. You could pay one superstar veteran like Mitchell a massive contract, or you could potentially add 2 high-level role players for the same price. It is the classic depth versus star power debate that every contender must face. Most teams would choose depth to build a more balanced roster, but Caitlin Clark is not most players. She wants elite star power beside her, and she is making it very difficult for the team to say no to the price tag.
As a pregame analyst, I mean, whenever she gets ready to retire, they're going to back the Brinks truck up to get Caitlin Clark in as an analyst. I mean, she going to get all the monies, all of it, because she handles herself so well, so professionally, talks so professionally, personable, likable, which is probably the number one aspect of that job is, you know,